Not again. Really? Where's my bike gone? It's alright, I'll clip this. No, I'll clip this out. Where is it? Really? Ow. Right, here we are, just coming up to the dealership. You may have noticed I nearly lost it on that corner, but I didn't. So, so far so good. It's now coming up to 11 o'clock in the morning and I haven't fallen off the bicycle. What a start. Now let's just pop it here. I mean, it's definitely not here. It's definitely not here. So, let's just find out. Now, well, we've got a few minutes, let's just have another look at this, because this is quite nice. Now, £25 a raffle. I don't know, is it worth a couple of entries? You know, 2 tickets, £50, I'm sure we can afford that. I mean, we can't even afford to stay in a proper building, but you know, that's quite fancy. We could even sleep in that, to be honest with you. It certainly looks more comfortable than that tent. But let's we'll find out where the van is, and do you know what, I think I'm going to get a couple of tickets while I'm in there, so let's head in there now. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so there are pretty good salespeople in there. So I've just bought 2 tickets for the raffle, £50, and then they also persuaded me to get 4 tickets for that at £10 a ticket. So I've just spent 90 quid. All I wanted to do was come collect the van and get some seeds, but there we go. I mean, it would be lovely. It'd be great if we won that. That is absolutely brilliant. I really like that. And that's not so bad. Nice chunky tyres on it, but hey, wishful thinking. Let's be serious now. It's unlikely we're ever going to get anything like that. So anyway, giving me some ideas. So they have a secondary area around the corner, so we have to go around the back of the shop. That's also where they keep some of their older vehicles. So while we're there, while we're waiting for the van, we'll have a quick look and see what's available. You never know, they might have something. Although now that we've just spent 90 quid, we're unlikely to be able to afford anything. Ooh, God, I pulled out in front of that red van again. Right, okay, so let's go around here without falling off. Let's head in this direction. So just past the old grain mill, which this is on the left, which it certainly is on the left, and so they can't miss it. Oh well, that must be the place. And also, as you can see, that's where they also keep their stock, which is pretty good actually. That's quite well stocked. Oh wow, look at all of this. Where are we gonna pull up? Right, let's pull up here a moment. Okay, wow, look at this. Let's have a little look around before we go get that van, which I'm assuming is that. Look at that. That is nice. I do like an old Ford tractor. That would be the dream, and it does look pretty old, so you know, potentially cheap. Old means cheap sometimes. Look at this here. So I quite like that as well. A bit beaten up, but again, the more beaten up it is, the cheaper we may get it for. I'm liking some of these. Now that, I mean, that must have been here a while, because it's got weeds growing out the tyres. So I don't know about that one. I mean, I'm happy to go for old, but that may be a little bit too much, to be honest with you. Mind you, again, probably more comfortable than that tent. And look at that! What a machine! What a machine! I like it. I'm impressed. They certainly didn't make out as if they had all of this when I asked them first of all yesterday. So, I didn't even really look at that one. I do like that. I do like that. Doesn't have a cab, but potentially does have a cheap side. So while we'll go let them know that we're here, we want the van, and then we'll find out some of the prices roughly, and see just how much saving we've got to do to get some of these. So just going to head into here, speak to these gents, and hopefully that van's ready to go. So see you in a moment. Okay, brilliant. So yeah, they're just finishing up, not quite ready to go yet. They've got to lower it down, tighten up the wheels. They have said have a look around, or there is a little waiting room. So we've had a bit of a look around already, to be honest with you. So let's head over into this waiting room over here, and they'll give us wow, look at this. They'll give us a shout when the van's ready to go, I guess. But it's not even plugged in. Wow, I mean, I've seen better waiting rooms than this before. It's not the most tidiest in the world, is it? Interesting to know they sell chainsaws though. Maybe we could do the hose pipe to start cleaning our bike off. Mind you, I don't think we have a water source yet, so lots of things to think about. But anyway, I'm going to take a seat, wait for them to give me a shout. See you in a moment. Okay, great, they're just giving us a shout. I don't kind of want to get up from this chair now though, if I'm honest with you. But, oh, my back is still hurting from that sleep in that tent. That was not comfortable at all. But here it is. They've left the keys in the ignition. Obviously not cost us anything. It's all been charged to her farm account. But whilst we're here, we do need to chuck the bike in. But we also need to get our back seats now. She said if you can fit them in, get two. So we'll have a look. We'll see what we can do. So let's pull this up here. Let's just get out and see what we can do. Okay, vans are opened up. So they know the customer. I think she's a regular customer, so they just charge it back to her account. So we just need to get it loaded up. Now they're not willing to do it for us. Part of the deal is she obviously gets some decent discount, but loadings are problems. So let's grab that forklift in a moment. Now, to be honest, I'm not 100% certain of all of these names, so we'll just make sure we actually figure out the correct product. These, from what I can gather, are fertilizers, and I believe the KWS is seeds, and I'm assuming that must be salt. So maybe they do get quite a lot of snow around here. I'm going to tell you what, that's not a very good sign. It is October now, and we are still staying in a tent. If it gets quite snowy, which I guess it does in this part of the world, we're going to need to get a new coat, that's for sure. But anyway, let's see how we get on. We can definitely fit 2 or 3 in there, but what worries me is how we're going to get them back out. I didn't even remember seeing a fork attachment for the tractor and the front loader that she had, so I could probably get them out with a bale spike, but it's not ideal. If that's what she wants me to do, I'm not being responsible for scratching the van. But let's give it a go. So again, keys in the ignition. I have used forklifts quite a lot before. I used to work in retail. Back before I had the identity theft, I had a pretty simple life, just a rental house. Worked in retail, did a lot of forklifting, Didn't really have a lot to lose, to be honest with you, when I left the country, but yeah, I haven't done it for a little while, and I haven't done it with sawback, so let's see how we get on. Looking pretty good, to be fair. Let's get them on. Better not hit that old van behind me, not that you'd notice anything. Okay, that's back in the wall. That is back in the wall. This is going to be a tight squeeze today. This is going to be a very tight squeeze. The problem is, I mean, how am I going to do that? No wonder she said I can fit 2 in. We're going to have to tip them in an angle or something. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? This is not good. And even just getting 1 in there is not going to be great. Right, I'm just going to pop this back and I'm going to run back around the corner to the dealership. I'll just leave the van there, but I'll just find out if maybe they've got pallets. That would certainly be a lot easier. So let's pop that back down. Hopefully, as I will be back, they won't mind just leaving that footprint there. So I'm sure they won't have any customers in the meantime. I'm just going to walk back around to that dealership. Just ask them in there if they've got seeds by the bag, maybe a pallet load. That would certainly be a lot easier to put inside that van. And, you know, I've got to say some room to put my bike back in there. It's my only transport. I don't fancy walking all that distance every day, even though I do keep falling off. So I'll catch you again in a second. Let me just have a chat with these gentlemen. Hopefully they don't try and sell me any more tickets. I'll see you again in a second. Okay, great. So they've got a pallet. They've got a little storage area in behind that other shed area that we were just in. So they're going to get the pallet out ready for us. Again, we have to load it up ourselves, but at least it's going to be something we can get it. I just bought a little bit of lunch while I was there, so you know it's 12:10 now nearly. So I figured we'll just load this pallet up and maybe stop for some lunch in that van. Okay, so we're back here. There's the pallet. So let's just load that up a moment. Now, while I was waiting, I did have a little look. They had a little kind of made-up brochure with all of their prices in now. Some of it's quite expensive. That tractor over there, quite expensive, 13,500 I think. We're certainly not going to be anywhere near that. Now, I imagine they would go for a lot more than that, but the hours were pretty high. So I think that might be a dream though. I do quite like that. I'm guessing their stock changes quite often. The only thing they said doesn't change very often is quite clearly that thing over there. So it looks like some form of VW camper van. But yeah, that's been there a good 15 years there, I think. And it certainly looks it. So interestingly though, it's not in the brochure, it's not priced out, but I can have it for £1,000. Now, to be honest, I think that's probably a little bit steep, but if it was a runner, that could be a good temporary alternative to the tent, especially with this potential snow that they seem to get quite often. So I've just got to struggle to get this pallet in, isn't it? There we go. Although I've driven a lot of forklifts, this is a very different one, so I'm not overly familiar with this. Now you do get a heck of a lot more on a pallet, so hopefully she's happy with me just getting the one pallet. Again, I'm more than happy to come back and get another one if this isn't enough, but let me just jump out. How are we looking here? So pretty good. Is it going to fit in there? Or should I put it in? I think that'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. Let's just lower it a bit. Yeah, it fits in there. Lovely. Like a glove. A bit more. That's great. Should be pretty happy with that. Just put that back up where I found it. So yeah, no, talking about that, so you know, 13,500. I'd love to have it. A little bit much though. This one, 2,500. Pretty old. A lot of mileage on it. But half decent horsepower, they said. So, you know, that could be a good little starter. It just doesn't have that cab. Now this, although it looks great, I'd love to own it. It's only 30 odd horsepower now. This kind of modern day, that is not really good for much at all, to be honest with you. And I think I would like to start with something a little bit bigger than that. So yeah, I don't think that's really up for debate. I mean, you can't beat a Massey Ferguson, especially a 133. I mean, this thing is amazing, but again, low horsepower, probably a bit more than the other one, but I can't imagine that's much more than 50. And although it looks great, it looks so good, it shouldn't really be used. Not really much need for a pickup truck at this point, but that, I mean, do you know, £1,000, we're not going to be too far away from that, hopefully, once we do a few weeks work. They did say you're welcome to get into anything, and they do leave the keys in the ignitions, so let's just have a little look in there, because I'm interested to know if it actually runs. They did laugh at me when they like laughing at me quite a lot thinking about it, but they did laugh at me when I asked them if it was a runner, and their answer was look at it. So yeah, I kind of get where they're going with that, but let's just see a minute. They said if you're lucky you'll get it to start, but don't expect it to stay started. I mean, I don't know what they're on about. It's starting fine for me. Oh. Okay. Maybe not. Let's try again. I mean, you know, if it's not been started, you expect it to be that a little bit. It's quite smoky. It's not very nice looking kind of smoke. In fact, to me, it looks a bit bluey, so it's probably a little bit of work this thing's going to be doing. It probably need quite a bit of money, head gaskets and things. I'm not sure if it's the right thing I'm thinking of. The engine's also at the back of this. From what I can see, because it's almost touching the fence. But I mean, that's been running for quite a while, if you ask me. I don't understand what their problem is. I reckon, seeing as they're not overly keen on it, I reckon I could probably get a bit more of a deal on that. So, I'll have a think about it. It is beaten up. It is pretty dirty. It is going to need a bit of work just to get all those weeds out of the wheels, but that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't know what they're talking about. This has been running for quite a while now. And it starts off alright. I wonder if they'll let me come. Okay. So now that I've said that, it's starting to play up, but of course that's always the way, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So maybe now let the water's flowing a bit. The fuel's flowing a bit, I should say. Maybe it's starting to show its true passion. But I'm going to come back, you know. I need to get this van back. I need to get those seeds back. I'm not too sure what else she's going to want us to do today, to be honest. And it is, you know, it's coming up to 10 to 1 already. I think I might just eat the sandwich on the drive back to the farm. And then maybe think about coming back here. Certainly in the next couple of days. It's worth thinking about. If we get anywhere near that 1,000, let's pop back nice sleeping bag from the tent in the back of that. I reckon that's going to do much better than that tent overbuilder. So let's just get the engine stopped. No, it can't be that bad. I've just had to stop the engine rather than it stopped for me. So don't know what the problem is with it. Before we get the engine started, how about I put my bike in the back? That would be helpful. Again, I don't fancy doing these kind of walks too often, so I'm sure I can carry this. It isn't too far. It's not too far. At least I'm not going to fall over while I'm carrying it. It's not going to fit. Come on. Yeah, lovely. Okay, here we go. Bike and seats. Now I didn't strap that pallet in, I can really get the strap into it, so I'm just going to have to take it back nice and easy. Like I said, I'll eat my lunch on the way back. It is now 1:05. We spent a little bit of time, actually it's probably wondering where we are, just doing a bit of shopping really, which on our first proper day's work is probably not the best thing to do, but I'm sure she seems really understanding. So let's head back now. Now, one thing she did ask us to do, which will kind of make up for a bit of the time actually that we've been away looking at stuff, is on the way back where the shop area is. She does actually own a field down to the right, so head into the shop area. She said there's a different entrance you can go into on your way back from the dealership, and turn to the right and there is a field just tucked in behind it. She just wants us to have a look and see if it's ready to harvest. So another field of canola. She said it was planted about the same sort of time as that field next to her farmyard, so she's hoping that this should be kind of ready to go as well. So I'm guessing it is this one here. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Oh, the brakes on this fan are amazing. Right, let's just jump out and have a look. I mean, I think that's good to go. It looks as good as the other field. So I'll feed back to her, I'll report back and just let her know that's looking pretty good to go as well. Now, I wonder how big this field is. I'm sure I just seen something run past me then. I'm sure I did. But anyway, let's have a look. It's a really nice area, this is, you know. Really nice area. I'll tell you what, if I don't find anywhere with a shower scene, I might just have a little dip in one of these rivers floating by here. Okay. Let's see if I can climb up on this fence. Okay, so, you know, half decent sized field. Oh, that's what I've seen. Some form of deer. But anyway, yeah, shouldn't take us too long. I won't want to run through the field just in case I cause any damage. So let's just head back to the van, finish eating the sandwich and see what she wants us to do next. Okay, right, here we are. Let's see if we can get ourselves out of here. Let's see how the right kind of that. There's a tree there. There's a tree. Oh, I can make that. Okay, right, so back to the yard. Hopefully she doesn't ask too many questions about why we've been so long. Yeah, sorry madam, I've just been looking at some new cars and tractors and stuff on my first day of work. I don't really think that'll go down too well. So let's get back quick. I'll save me a packet of crisps for a bit later on, I think. Fortunately, we are pretty much there, so we're in the zebras in the next yard, so let's just think ahead. Let's pop it into this yard. there's someone looking at that van. Wow, it's tight with the van, so I don't know what this is going to be like when we need to try and get that trailer out. That is not going to be very good at all. Let's just park this up here. Good. That looks really good. That was interesting. There was definitely someone looking at that van then. That's a little bit suspicious, that. I'm going to mention that to her. Potentially she might know who that was, but I've not seen anyone else working on this farm or anyone else who should be inside of this yard area. And the guy who kind of runs that van is probably the other side of the world, so strange, very strange. I'm just going to pop in and see her, let her know that we're back. We've got the seeds. Potentially we're going to have to take that front loader around on the tractor and load up the seeds into the seeder, I guess. The field that we cultivated needs seeding, but it also needs some form of weeding, and I don't know what order she would want to do it in. She seems to have her own preferences for a lot of things, so we shall find out if she'd like to do the weeding first or if she would like to do the seeding first. So I'll let her know we're back and see what she wants us to do next. So bear with me one moment and I'll catch you in a second. Okay, well that's us done for the day. So harvesting tomorrow. Early start, 6:30 in the morning. So she just said take up early, have a early afternoon, early night, and be here for 6:30 in the morning, ready to start this harvesting. So that's it for now, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.